So this is kind of the head start. So I would have said, let's draw a picture just to help you. Okay, and it says the length of a rectangle is 6 centimeters more than its width. Okay. I think this is probably where I don't think we took anything up though. So I'm just going to run through this question. Okay. So it tells you, if I backtrack here for a sec, I would have drawn my rectangle first thing, and then I would have drawn on the width, and then I would have looked at the words, and the words would have told me the length of my rectangle, this dimension right here, it can be modeled. Length is equal to the width plus 6 centimeters. Okay, it told us that it is 6 centimeters longer than the width. And that's what the length is defined by. So this is like, sorry, I'll get rid of the centimeters because that looks confusing. Length is equal to W plus 6. Okay, is everybody happy with that? So my goal here is not to deal with length, which is why they've told us this. They've told us that the length is, or how the length is related to the width. So it's the width plus 6. Okay, so then once you know that little pivot, then we can do the rest of the question, right? So then it requires you just to think back to like whenever you did area and perimeter for the very first time, when we talked about what perimeter is versus what area is, right? And perimeter is the distance around the outside of an object. I suppose depending on the object, it could also be called circumference. Now, we know that being the case, then I'm going to get rid of the L. We know that this is W and this is W plus 6. So if I'm starting here, I'm going to go around the outside of my rectangle. That means I'm going to encounter W plus length plus W plus length. And we know that length is equal to W plus 6. Okay, I'm just going to pause here, make sure everybody's okay. Okay, we're all right? So instead of writing length, just like what we did on our rectangle, everywhere I see the L in my equation, I'm going to replace it with W plus 6. Okay, because that's how the length is related to the width. Okay, so here's what you're going to get now. Perimeter is going to equal W plus, the length we saw is W plus 6, plus W, plus W, plus W plus 6. Are we happy? So there's no expansion to be done here. It's just, I put the brackets in just to keep everything nice and separate. We can visually see how this stuff came to be. You can see there's the length. There's the length we were talking about. Okay? Now what's nice about these easier style of questions or entry-level questions is we just have to collect the like terms now, right? We have one variable here. Maybe I'll change the color. I'm just going to collect the W's, and then I'm going to collect the numbers. Okay, am I missing any piece of information in my equation? Is there anything I've neglected to use yet? It's fine. If you don't know the answer to that right now, I can do this work and then we can talk about it again in about 30 seconds. Okay? So let's just clean up all the yellow and blue stuff on the right side and then we'll have that conversation in a sec, okay? So perimeter is still equal to, it looks like I have 1, 2, 3, 4 W's, right? So when I add them all together, I get 4W. And then I have plus 6 plus 6. Does everybody agree? Those are the two blue, and then we can combine those two 6s to be 12. 4W plus 12. Okay? Now, I'll ask that question again. Is there anything given to me in the question that I'm neglecting to use currently? Everybody have a look. Okay? Make sure when you read it, not always is it the case that you're going to use all the information provided in questions. There was lots of times going through school that teachers would just throw more information that was needed just to like mess with you. Okay, because you gotta have a critical eye for that sort of thing sometimes. Greer, do you know what we're missing?
The perimeter is equal to
Yeah, it tells us that the perimeter is equal to 96. So remember, perimeter is just the variable p, right? And so we can replace the p in our equation with 96 is equal to 4W plus 12. Okay, and this is a solving question now. All your like new content is done. We're falling back on the skills that we've tried to attain in the last like few weeks, solving wise. Okay, so and basically what I mean by that, we're trying to get W by itself, right? That's where our goal is here, right? So now we're gonna say, okay, take 12 away from both sides. Right, so you're gonna get 96, sorry my iPad's moving, 96 minus 12 is gonna equal 4W. So what is 96 take away 12? 96 minus 10 would be 86 minus another 2, Vincent. 84 is equal to 4W. And to get W by itself, divide both sides by 4. Now W is going to equal 21. Okay, and again, just be careful with the word problems. Don't just write 21. 21 what? 21 elephants, giraffes, zebras. That's 21 centimeters. Right? Just go back to your question and look at what units they've used. We see that it's centimeters, so just tack that on as units. Okay. Are we done? Elizabeth? Okay, we need to find the length, right? And so the convenient thing about what we've done here is up at the top, we have an equation that represents the length. Right? It told us that the length is the width plus 6. So once you find what the width is, you can plug that in. To find the length. Okay, so the length is going to equal 21 plus 6, so the length is going to equal 27 centimeters. Okay, and then just to wrap everything up with a nice little bow, you could say, therefore, the dimensions (21 centimeters by 27 centimeters). Okay. In grade 10, you're going to look at the more interesting problem is what happens when we start looking at how the area changes depending on the dimensions. That's a more interesting question. But you don't have the skills to deal with that yet. Okay, that's a grade 10 skill set. Okay, so that's where we're trying to head. All right. But anyway, that's that. Okay, I'm gonna hit stop there. Do we have any questions for that before I stop?